Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Anupma Biology Classes. This is our new series which is Ecology series. In this new series, today our topic is organism and its environment. This video is taken from CBSE Class 12th, Chapter 13, Part 1st. Now at first see here lecture overview that what we will see in this video. In this video we will see organism and its environment. What is ecology? Levels of organization, hierarchy in nature in which physical hierarchy, biological hierarchy and ecological hierarchy. Now, let's begin the topic which is environment, in which at first, what is the meaning of habitats? The place of living of an organism is called its habitat. Every habitat had its own peculiar type of environment. The individual conditions such as light, air, water, minerals, prey or predators around an organism are termed factors of the environment. The environmental factors can be classified into two types, in which the first one that is abiotic factors and the second is biotic factors. So see here, the abiotic factors are the non-living in nature and are also known as non-living or physical factors. Here you can see the abiotic factors which are wind, sunlight, soil, water, atmosphere and temperature. Now the second which is biotic factors. So what are biotic factors? The biotic factors are the living creatures present in the organism environment. They are also referred to as living or biological factors. The biotic factors influence both the physical environment as well as the other organisms living in it. So, what is environment? The term environment literally means the surrounding of an organism. In the absence of an organism, it is meaningless to speak of environment and vice versa. In other words, there exists a mutual interaction between every organism and its environment. Every organism gets adapted to its environmental conditions, grows, and reproduces. So, according to the definition, environment can be defined as the aggregate of all the external conditions and influences, both abiotic and biotic, which affecting the life and development of an organism in its natural habitat. Now, if we talk about our planet Earth, which is divided into three components, namely atmosphere, which you can see in the picture, hydrosphere and lithosphere. In these three components of the earth, all the living organisms, that is biotic components, interact not only each other but also with the various non-living abiotic factors prevalent here. In other words, on the planet Earth, the different components of the environment are interlinked and interdependent. So, the question is, what is ecology? The term ecology refers to the study of interrelationships of the living organism, that is animals, plants and microorganisms with their physical and biological environment. The science of ecology is multidisciplinary in approach and almost boundless in its concern. German biologist Ernst Haeckel in 1869 was the first to coin the term ecology. So, if we talk about the ecology, it has two main branches. First one is art ecology and second is synecology. Art ecology involves the study of relationship between the environment and an organism or a species. On the other hand, synecology includes the study of relationship between the environment and a community. So, according to differences, synecology is holistic while the art ecology is reductionist. Syn ecology, in which the ecology of relationships among the various organisms and population, while the art ecology, in which ecology of individual organisms and populations. Syn ecology mostly concerned with the communication of material, energy and information among system components, while the art ecology mostly concerned with the elements themselves. So, ecology is basically concerned with four levels of biological organization, which is organism, population, communities, and ecosystems and biomes. Now, here you can see that interactions of organism with components of physical environment and with other organisms. So, how the interactions occur? So, if we talk about here, no man is an island. This saying is also true for the organism in an ecosystem. No organism exists in isolation. Individual organisms live together in an ecosystem and depends on one another. In fact, they have many different types of interactions with each other, and many of these interactions are critical for their survival. So all these spheres, here you can see that atmosphere, hydrosphere and lithosphere. All the spheres interact with other spheres. For example, rain, that is hydrosphere, falls from clouds in the atmosphere to the lithosphere and forms streams and rivers that provide drinking water for the wildlife and humans as well as water for the plant growth. Biosphere, where water evaporates from the ocean into atmosphere. So you can see here the interactions of the organism between the physical environment and the organism. Now, after this, levels of organizations. So what are the levels of organization? In biology, we study from genes to the ecosystem with several intermediate levels of organization. Here you can see the hierarchy in nature. The word hierarchy means any graded organization of persons, principles, or things ranked one above the another in ascending or descending order. Three kinds of hierarchy may be recognized in nature, which are physical hierarchy, biological hierarchy, and ecological hierarchy. We will see each and every hierarchy in detail. So, if we talk about the level of organization, here you can see that first is physical hierarchy, then biological, and the last is ecological hierarchy. So here you can see that is atomic level, in which the examples are carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Then atomic level converted into the molecular level, where the examples are water, DNA and carbohydrates. Then it forms the cellular level, in which the examples are muscle cells, skin cells and neurons. Then cellular level converted into tissue level, where the examples are muscles, epithelial cells and the connectives. Then tissue converted into the organ level, where the examples are heart, liver and stomach. Organ level converted into organ system level, where the examples are digestive system, circulatory system, excretory system, respiratory system, etc. And the organ system converted into the organism level, where the organism is human. So this is the level of organism, and it shows the hierarchy, that how an organism, that is human, form. So in a hierarchy of level in the organization of the living organism and non-living matter, it starts from the molecules. Before this, atoms, which combine to form molecules, molecules combine to form cells, cells to form tissues, tissues combine to form organs, organs combine to form organ system combine to form organism, organism combine to form populations, populations combine to form communities, communities combine to form ecosystem, and ecosystem combine to form a biosphere, that is ecosphere. So this is all about the hierarchy in nature. So here you can see that a structure of biosphere which formed by the atom, molecule, cell organelles, cells, tissues, organ, system of organs, organism, population, ecosystem, biomes, and the last one, that is the biosphere. Now, First, here you can see that if we talk about the physical hierarchy, so every organism consists of parts that can be arranged in progressively increasing levels of organizational complexity. Each higher level is more complex than the one below it because it builds on all the preceding ones. The smallest structure units of matter, both non-living and living, are the proton, neutrons, and electrons. These particles combine in a specific manner to form atoms. The atoms in turn combine to form the next larger units called molecules or chemical compounds. The latter join together in various ways to form still larger units termed complexes of compounds. In the living matter, the complexes of compounds form microscopic or submicroscopic bodies known as organelles. The organelles individually do not qualify as living units. A specific combinations of organelles, however, forms a living unit called the cell, which is the biological hierarchy begin from the cell. So if we talk about the biological hierarchy, which you can see in the picture, a cell is the smallest living unit containing all the necessary apparatus for carrying on the life functions. Thus, a living organism must consist of at least one cell. Cells combine to form higher units, the tissues, which in turn comes together and constitute next higher units, that is the organs. The organs occur in groups, the organ system. All the organ system together form a multicellular organism. At each level, there is exchange of materials between the unit and its environment, that is surrounding. So this is all about the biological hierarchy. After that, the ecological hierarchy. Ecological hierarchy begins at the level of organism, that is unicellular or multicellular, and proceeds to the level of greater complexity, namely populations, biotic community, ecosystem, and biomes. So here you can see all these levels are briefly, in which the first one, that is the organism. So, if we talk about the organism, an organism is a living unit in nature. It has following characteristics. An organism may be small, unicellular, or large, multicellular. The parts of an organism, whether organelles, cells, tissues, organs, or organ system, are organized into a functional whole and cannot survive apart from the whole. An organism is a growing, self regulating, self repairing, self perpetuating entity, often capable of autonomous movement. An organism has its own structure, which is maintained by life process occurring in its own body, distinct from those taking place in the bodies of others. It cannot survive in strict isolation in nature. It depends on others around it. The organisms are often distinct and easily observable units in nature. We can recognize a dog or a crow or a rose plant as an individual organism and can also count them without any difficulty. But this is not so in all cases. In the grass growing in a lawn or in the lily growing in a flower bed, and in the sponge colony growing on a rock in the sea, the individuals remains joined to one another, and it is not easy to distinguish or count them. Individual organisms often have a fixed lifespan and organized life cycle, comprising birth, that is beginning, then growth, then maturity, then old age, that is senescence, and the last is death, that is the end of life. The organism arise from the pre-existing organism of their kind through reproduction, that is vegetative, asexual or sexual reproduction mode. Then therefore they assemble and show the resemblance to their parents. Before completing their lifespan, they reproduce offsprings, transmitting their characters to them. This ensures the continuity of the race of each organism. Thus, the life continues. The organisms are fully adapted to their environment. This ensures their survival, and organism is the basic smallest unit of ecological hierarchy. So, in case of physical hierarchy, the smallest unit is proton, neutron and electrons. In case of biological hierarchy, the smallest unit is cell. In case of ecological hierarchy, the smallest unit is organism. Now, if we talk about the population, so what is population? A group of individuals of the same species living together in a common area at a particular time form a population of that area. All the frogs identified as Rana tigrana living in a given pond constitute a population, or many ants which living in a given area constitute a population. Similarly, all water hyacinth plant, that is Eucornia, growing in that pond form another populations. So, organisms of the same kind may form several populations inhabiting different geographical areas. For instance, frog and water hyacinth plant found in a pond, marsh, a stream, and a lake represent different populations of the same organism. Similarly, the human, that is Homo sapiens, inhabiting hills, plains, and islands form separate populations. The different populations of the same kind of organism are often referred to as local population. Members of a local population may be genetically adapted to their specific environment. Such a population is called ecotype. Thus, a population is the unit that evolves. It is also an ecological unit which plays a role in the community of organisms in an ecosystem. In a given geographical area, a population is further divisible into subgroups, which is called DIMS, which you can see in the picture. So, the interactions between individuals of the same species are more in members of the same DIM than between the members of the different DIMs. So, what is population and what is DIM? Population is a group of same species. Example, a population of white-tailed deer, but not a population of mule deer and white-tailed deer. That would be a community. What is DIM? A local population of closely related animals. Example, like the black squirrel in Berkeley. DIMs have the following characteristics, that is age structure, sex ratio and growth rate. Now, after this, biotic community, which is also in the ecological hierarchy. So what is biotic community? Groups of organisms belonging to several different species that live together in the same area or habitat and interact through tropical and spatial relationship to form a self-sustained unit is called a biotic community. A biotic community has three subunits. Its animal population are referred to as animal community, a plant population as a plant community, and a microbial population as a microbial community. Here you can see that a forest is an example of a biotic community. It comprises population of earthworms, insects, lizards, birds, squirrels, etc., forming an animal community. Populations of herbs, shrubs, climbers and trees forming a plant community, and populations of bacteria and fungi forming a microbial community. So animals frequently shift from one community to another because of seasonal variations. Some animals spend the day in one community and the night in another community. Now, ecosystem and biome. So what is ecosystem and biome? So living organisms cannot live isolated from their non-living environment because the two interact so as to produce a stable system. A natural self-sufficient unit comprising a biotic community and its abiotic physiochemical environment is known as an ecosystem. I repeat it again, a natural self-sufficient unit comprising a biotic community and its abiotic physiochemical environment is known as ecosystem. So what is biotic factors and what is abiotic factor? We will discuss each and every factors in the next video. The biotic community is termed Biocoinosis, the geographical area providing uniform conditions for the life, is called biotype. Here you can see bios means life and topos means place. So, an ecosystem has two components, the physical part or biotope and living part or biotic community. Ecosystem may be natural or artificial. A pond, a lake, and a forest are a few examples of the natural ecosystem. Here you can see this is the natural ecosystem, and a flower pot, an aquarium, and a spaceship are some instances of the artificial ecosystem. So, this is about the ecosystem and biomes. Now, the question is, what is biome? So, very large ecosystems are termed biomes. In fact, variations in the intensity and duration of temperature together with annual variations is precipitation account for the formation of major biomes, and examples are desert, rain, forest and tundra. Now, here you can see that biome distribution with respect to annual temperature and the precipitation. So here there are different type of biomes like the desert, grassland, tropical forest, temperate forest, coniferous forest and Arctic and alpine tundra. So regional and local variations within each biome lead to the formation of variety of habitats. So if we talk about the biome is a community of plants and animals that have common characteristics for the environment they exist in. They can be found over a range of continents. Biomes are distinct biological communities that have formed in response to a shared physical climate. Now, biosphere. What is biosphere? All the ecosystem of the world together form a biosphere or ecosphere. In other words, biosphere consists of all the living organisms and all of the regions of the earth and the atmosphere where they live. The earth layers of the air, water and soil where the life exists constitute the biosphere. Here you can see the structure of a biosphere where the air, water and soil present and life exist. So this is the end of video in which we see about the organism and its environment, ecology, levels of organization and hierarchy in nature, in which physical hierarchy, biological hierarchy and ecological hierarchy. The next upcoming video in ecology series will be on weather and climate. So if you understand this video, please like and share it and subscribe to my channel Anupma Biology Classes. If you have any questions, any queries or any suggestions, you can ask in the comment section below. Thank you for the watching.